Is this actual compost you have here, or is it like...
It's soil. It's organic soil, and periodically they add nutrients to it.
Oh, okay.
And if you, as you see back there, what's left, the roots and what's not taken in the cutting,
Okay.
gets put in and then mulched in.
Is this come out of like Metro Metro compost heaps? Is that where it comes from? Or?
Peter can tell you that.
That's right.
Where do you get your soil? I know it's...
Where does the soil come from?
Well, we've had...
We can get over there and talk about it too. Sure. Go ahead.
Well, we've had the soil indoors. Originally, it was from a organic farm around Stouffville, and what we've been doing for the past 3 years, well, basically that's the bulk of where our soil came from. We've been adding the mats back into it, so every week we recycle them.
Okay.
And we add rock powders and minerals to revitalize the soil. So what the sprouts are taking out, we add back in to the best of our ability. So in fact, actually, what the sprouts have been getting from the soil is actually improved because of what we've been doing. Well, even if you can get sprouts like alfalfa and radish and that sort of stuff, usually what we're doing is growing sprouts in soil, and those are all done hydroponically. And like what I'm doing here with these sprouts, these are hydroponic as well too. But with the sprouts, because the very available proteins and amino acids and all the well-rounded, the full spectrum of nutrition that you can get from sprouts and a wide variety of sprouts, you don't need anything else. When I first started, and said that's about 4 years ago, there were the large proportion of our clients were people who were dealing with the health challenge. What's happening now, though, which I find quite interesting, is that the people who are interested more and more are younger, healthy, looking for just revitalizing themselves. It's great to see people who don't have to go so far into backtracking, and they're looking just for optimum health. So with our location being so close to Queen Street in downtown Toronto, we're finding that there's a lot more of the youth or it's hip now to be healthy.
Sure. Yeah. How do you service your clients? Do you have a delivery service, or is it mostly people? Is it a walk-in thing?
Well, the whole concept of what we're doing here is as much community-based as possible. So ideally, what we would see is what we're doing here in more and more communities. So what that means for us is we're trying to not really discourage, because can't really afford that, but what we want is people to be buying locally. We have the majority of our client base walk in. We also have a bike courier doing limited deliveries in a localized area. So it's very green as far as...
this isn't pizza yet, where I can dial, a 967 Sprout.
Yeah.
what area of?
Well, to a degree you can, because it's still a business, but
I live in Thornhill, so I'd have to come pick it up.
Well, what we do is we offer a delivery service. We use a courier company. So if someone up in Richmond Hill wants our sprouts, as they do, they can have a weekly delivery. It's just a flat fee. And so we don't subsidize or package the price of the delivery into the sprouts. If people are coming in, great, they buy it at closer to what our cost is. Like the whole philosophy is, instead of growing or eating food that's grown on the other side of the planet, or the other side of the continent, in fact, you can get something locally grown. And for people coming in, we offer them education so that they can do this at home. We offer this as a service because people, in our opinion, people really need to be doing this. But a lot of people don't have the time, don't have the space, whatever. So now we're working towards having it available, and if they so choose, they can grow it.
Okay. Do you offer like seed kits here? If somebody wanted to grow their own?
Right now, we're just offering information. We have had to specialize and focus our attention on growing the sprouts. We've been learning a great deal every week. When we plant something, we're learning more and more. So what we can offer right now is information on how people can do it at home. We're going to be holding seminars, like weekend seminars, day-long seminars.
Wait, can you tell me what by the sink there? It looks like you got some peas.
Yeah, well, this is something that we encourage everyone to do, to be able to do on their own, because it's so easy. What I have in this first jar is they're dried peas, they're green peas that I purchased, and I soaked them yesterday for about 5 hours. And then I drained them overnight. Basically drained them, set them upside down like this. I have J cloth over top with a elastic band. You can use cheesecloth or fine mesh screening.
What's the purpose of it? Let them drain?
The whole purpose is they're germinating. They're now living.
Oh, okay.
So what you're doing is you're taking a seed, like this one's the green pea, this one's the lentil, and this one's a fenugreek seed. And what you're doing is you're rehydrating it. You're bringing it back to life. What's missing in most food is enzyme activity. If you cook it, you process it, or what nature does is it stores it for a long period of time using enzyme inhibitors. So what you're doing is you're accessing more potential from these foods by rehydrating them, sprouting them, growing them for a certain length of time, so that they offer more amino acids, more B vitamins, more enzymes. A whole slew of nutrition is opened up by sprouting them.
Maybe you can tell me about that newfangled gadget we got.
The newfangled gadget? Well, a lot of people spend a fair bit of time in the kitchen when they go over to like a living foods or a raw foods or eating more vegetables. Most people's concern is, well, I just don't have the time to eat well. Well, then it comes down to what kind of tool you have to use, and this is a green power juicer, and it's something that I found personally has saved me a lot of time for myself and has really helped with my nutrition. By eating like a lot of different types of sprouts, you can you don't need the animal-based proteins. Most people say, well, oh, you're a vegetarian.
Where do you get your protein?
Where do you get your protein from? Well, every plant growing has protein, has amino acids, and the variety of amino acids is really dependent on what's in the soil. There again, another reason why we're doing what we're doing here. And
could you get into the types of the three types of
Sure.
sprouts that you're dealing with here. And
Sure.
I noticed you got something on the table here. Maybe you can tell me what that particular brand is.
Yeah. This one is the wheatgrass, and the best way to consume the wheatgrass is really fresh. What we offer as a service here, once a week we harvest the sprouts. So what we're doing on the Monday is taking trays like this that are grown. They're on the soil and growing for about 10 days. So they're, as you can see, about 8 to 10 inches tall, and we harvest it with a knife. And then the optimum is to harvest it and then juice it right away, so that you're drinking the freshest possible beverage from like juice of the grass. And it contains a lot of chlorophyll and a lot of oxygen and very high enzyme activity.
Now, these particular sprouts, from the time you plant until you seed, what is this? Like a month's worth of growth, or?
No. This is we plant. What Trevor does is he does up a list on the Wednesday of what we project or we're going to need on the in about 14 days, or actually 12 days from that point. So we soak on the Thursday, then we plant them on Friday morning. And so right now we're doing about 400 or more cafeteria trays of sprouts on that planting. So we plant them on the Friday. We keep them in a darkened, with the sunflower and the wheatgrass, we have pressure on them to sort of mimic the weight of soil. That gets them to root. In the germination, the rooting process is taking place as well. And then by Monday, after we harvest everything off the other trays, we flip it over. So sprouts that were planted 1 week ago from that Friday are being harvested on the Monday. So that, like I said, there's a 3-day overlap, and it's really incredible. It's almost like you could sit there at the beginning of the day, you come in, you see the sprouts one way. By the end of the day, they're completely changed. They've grown like an inch or so.
Peter, you've been promised me a little bit of refreshment here today. What am I going to score?
Okay, well, in the juice bar that we have here, everything's organic. So a flashback to summer is watermelon, and what I have here is a really nice sunny yellow watermelon.
I've never seen it. What is this?
No, I think it's been around for a while. It just hasn't been popularized. But the whole thing about watermelon, it's very much the same as the pink watermelon, the regular watermelon, and it's a really good start for the day that I find. What it does is help to flush out the system. When you're sleeping all night long, a lot of toxins can build up. The watermelon just flushes you out, rehydrates your system. A lot of people just don't have enough water in their system. With this juicer, you can juice the whole thing, so you're getting everything that the plant has to offer. The outside shell has, because it's organic, we can juice it, and we don't have to worry about the harmful pesticides. And what it has to offer is more chlorophyll. So if you're looking on the outside ring, there's chlorophyll. The white part.
Just
sure.
Continue looking out that way.
Okay. So how's that for noise?
When you plant and when you harvest, and
well, Trevor does the schedule up on the Wednesday. We soak the seeds on the Thursday. We plant. There's about 3 of us that do the planting. It takes us about 3 or 4 hours to do the planting on Friday morning. And then on the weekend we have someone come in, because every day the sprouts have to be watered in the morning and in the evening. And we also use a foliar spray. We feed them by feeding through the air, by misting. and we then harvest on the Monday. So there is 4 of us harvesting on the Monday, and then there's a bike courier that does deliveries, and then we also use a courier company. So we try to get as much of the fresh sprouts out to the people as soon as possible.
How many people has Colleen got employed here?
Well, it's a great flow of people that are helping out in different ways, and right now there's probably about 7 or 8, yeah.
Full-time, or?
No, there's only, well, there's Colleen, then there's Trevor, and then myself, who are here most days. And then other than that, it's just a couple of days a week here and there for other people. Because the sprouts are pretty, like I said, they need to be watered in the morning and the evening, but in between times, then we're freed up to do other things. So we don't need a lot of manpower except for planting day and harvesting day.
Planting day is Monday, and
Yeah, and the planting's on the Friday, and the harvesting's on the Monday.
now what a device like this run? How much would it cost for this caliber? 'Cause this looks like it's a professional.
Well, it's actually it's designed for home use, and it is $949. So it's certainly for someone who's committed to juicing every day, or really getting the most out of whenever they do the juicing, that they're going to get the most out of the products that they're putting through, the produce. A lot of juicers, because of the processing style, how they extract the juice, they really limit the nutritional value, or they really undermine the nutritional value of the food. So by the time they're done, it's just not worth as much. So this one is a slow-moving tritration. It's pressing it and extracting the juice very, very slowly.
Where are these imported from?
These are actually, it's surprising, there's like millions of these juicers that have been sold where they're manufactured in Korea. And so I don't know whether whether it's just a fad to have a juicer, or whether there are a lot of health conscious people over there that are doing a lot of juicing.
Surely.
Yeah. But they actually, that's where the majority of the juicers on the world are manufactured.
Okay, what's Trevor doing here? These are the bags that are going out?
These are sprouts that were harvested earlier in the week, and we, to reduce on waste, what we do is we package only what we need and a few extras in the Ziploc bags. And then as we need more, we take the extra harvest from the white bags and put them into the smaller allotments, 1 pound, half pound, and quarter pound for sunflower and buckwheat.
Okay, tell a little bit of pricing. What would it cost, like, if I wanted to get a weekly supply of sun sprouts?
On a casual basis, it is $8 for a full pound or a full bag, and then it's $4.50 for a half bag, and then $2.25 for a quarter bag.
Now, if you really like sprouts, how long would it take you to eat a pound?
Well, one of the reasons why I'm here is because I was consuming between 5 and 8 full bags of sprouts a week.
I understand that's what Colleen paid you in the beginning?
Yeah, it was I was helping her and I was being fed, so it worked out really, really nicely. I just hope and then we'll have the income tax guys going, oh, pay GST on how much on the sprouts you consume.
How do you explain that? When you say this is how I'm getting paid.
Well, it's just I'm not getting paid. I'm helping her. And yeah, it's the old-fashioned. It's what money is based on in the first place.
The barter.
Yeah, it's just like money is just a tool that sort of stands in between the actual. I do something for Trevor, and Trevor does something for me.
That's the way.
And if there's a time lag, then I give him some money, and then he gives it back to me when. And then you give it back.
Now, who designed the Super Sprouts logo? That's pretty cool. I like that.
Well, Trevor is the one who did a lot of development on the Super Sprouts logo. Colleen had started off with a sun image, and Trevor made it a lot more friendly and appealing for people, and brought the sprouts into it. So on the logo that way, I built the sign. It's interesting because sometimes we're getting people who have a severe health challenge and they're looking for the alternative. They're looking for something beyond just the prescription drugs and the pharmaceuticals, because they're starting to get the sense that nutrition is very important as well as what they're doing. Like there's no magic bullet for anything.
But you are what you eat. That's what we're getting at.
Yeah, and doctors are now going more into nutrition, so we're getting a lot more people who are just in a health challenge, looking for something to revitalize them or help to heal their body, help their body to heal itself, is what's really actually taking place. Life begets life.
Where do you come up with these parables?
I don't know.
You're a man of wisdom, Pete.
Well, I don't know. You drink enough juice, the juices start talking back.